Welcome, everybody. This is Rainy Cage, and we are going to talk about the top 10 movies of 2024 so far. I am in a new setup in my office, and I can already tell the blurring effect is being wonky, but I'm not going to do a live stream this time, but this is how I will do a live stream in the future if this goes well. But I'm just going to record this and post this up. I plan on down below here putting basically my top 10 movies of the year so far. We're at the halfway mark. I'm going to try and run through them pretty quick and just talk a little bit about each one. I will give 3 honorable mentions before we start going into the main ones here. And first up, we are going to go with Inside Out 2. I enjoyed this movie about as much as the first one. I didn't think have always said that I feel like Inside Out is a little overrated, but I did enjoy it, and I'm glad that Pixar is making a lot of money right now because it deserves it. That's one of my honorable mentions. Another one is going to be this Netflix movie, Hitman. This one I also gave a 4 out of 5 to. I was kind of blown away. I'm really liking Glenn Powell, and this is kind of an interesting where he's just like this teacher who has a knack of creating all these different personalities, and I don't know. I thought it was pretty entertaining. My last honorable mention is In the Land of Saints and Sinners. This one is Liam Neeson, and he's kind of like this hitman. He tries to retire, gets brought out of retirement. There's a little bit of a revenge story going on. We've seen this Liam Neeson kind of story before, but I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was done really well. And I'd say my only negative for it would be the thick Irish accents that were hard to understand at times in the movie theater. But I had a good time with this one. All right, so now we're going to get into our 10 through 1, and I am going to do these from my least favorite to my most favorite, basically. So at number 10, I have Challengers. Already fumbled in here, but here we go. Challengers, this was kind of dawned as the Zendaya threesome movie. It's more than that. Yes, there is a scene in there, but it is actually really good. I think Zendaya is really good in the movie. So are the other two leads in this. I've done forgot who they were. But if you could go back and watch my review, they reminded me of other actors. But I thought it was really cool. And for someone who doesn't really like tennis at all, I found it really entertaining and engaging. And different ways that they filmed the tennis scenes, I thought were really cool. My number 9 is the movie that no one went and saw, and that is Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. I don't like the name. Like, I don't know. I guess we could have done I don't know how you could do it, but I really enjoyed this movie. I don't think it's as good as the last Mad Max film, Fury Road, but I thought it was really good. It's action packed. I feel like Anya Taylor-Joy does a really good job, and I really think that Chris Hemsworth steals the show. It's the best he's ever been. I feel like he was really good in the movie, and yeah, I really enjoyed this one. My number 8 is the Amazon film that should have been in theaters but was not, and that is Roadhouse. This movie I really liked. I have still not seen the original Roadhouse. One day I will watch it, but right now I have this one to go off of, and I thought Jake Gyllenhaal was great. I thought it had some cool fight scenes. I thought it had a fun story, some comedy in there, and I just thought it was a well-made film that should have been in theaters. And I know some people didn't like this movie or kind of iffy on it, but I don't know. I thought it was a really good time. So that is my number 8. My number 7 is The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Another Guy Ritchie film. I've really been liking Guy Ritchie stuff here lately. And this was another one that I really liked. It's based on a story, a true story, and kind of how these people are hired to go in and kill some Nazis, basically. And they're undesirable, ungentlemanly men. And I thought everybody in it was really good. Henry Cavill was great, and it was just a really fun time. And I don't think when I saw it, I thought it was going to be over the top, and I don't think it's as over the top as the trailers made it look. I really enjoyed it. My next film on this list, which would be number 6, is The Mean Girls, the musical. This was kind of cool because it's a remake of the original Mean Girls. It's kind of one of those weird, like it's a remake, not a continuation, but they have actors from the original film and from 20 years ago. I think the original film came out in 2004. But this time it's based off the Broadway musical, and I thought the new cast killed it. I loved the songs. I was listening to this for like the soundtrack to this for like a month afterwards. I thought it was really good. Is it better than the original? No, not really, but it's different, and I enjoyed it. And this is a January movie, and still worthy of the top 10 so far this year. My number 5 is The Fall Guy. This one I also thought was really cool. This is Ryan Gosling, Emily Blunt. It's directed by the guys that did, or one of the guys that did John Wick. And this one was cool because it's got a little bit of romance. It's kind of a behind the scenes look at stuntmen. It's a kind of a love letter to stuntmen, and it's got some action. It's got some comedy. I was laughing a lot. The villain's kind of lame. You can kind of see what's going on, but I had a really good time with this. Another movie that not a lot of people went and saw, but when I left the theater, I was like, this was awesome. This was one of the best movies of the summer. So, yeah, I give it a 4.5 out of 5 on that one. My number 4 is a movie I just got done seeing yesterday, and that was A Quiet Place Day One. I loved the first 2 Quiet Places, and this one followed suit to me. It was just as good, in my opinion. I did not know the backstory of the characters. The trailers just look like they're running around in New York, and they are. But the 2 main characters in this have an interesting story. Lupita Nyong'o is fantastic, and her story is just so freaking interesting. And I don't know, like I said in my review, it felt like you had a Pixar movie going on behind an alien invasion, don't make a noise kind of massacre survival movie. And I really connected to both stories and was super tense, edge of your seat, just like the first 2 Quiet Places. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was just as good as the first 2 movies, and gave it a 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5. Number 3 on my list is a really funny movie. Bad Boys Ride or Die. I also gave a 4.5 out of 5. I had so much fun watching this movie. It is just a blast. I was just laughing for so long. I get people saying that they felt like it was maybe a little too over the top, but I thought Martin Lawrence was the best he's ever been in this movie. I like how they switched the dynamic of the two. I like they were a little meta with the slap at the end. It was just a great time, and that's what I want to do, have a fun time in the theaters. It was like a perfect summer movie. And of course, it helps that I love the original 3 movies. So I had a blast with this movie. If you haven't seen it and you like the other Bad Boys movies, what are you doing? Go see this movie. It's great. My number 2 is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Once again, I loved the last 3 Planet of the Apes movies. I thought they were great. I went in a little... I was excited, but I didn't know what we were going to get. And this movie takes place a couple 200 to 300 years after War for the Planet of the Apes. And I just liked it. I liked how we got these new characters. I like how we were building towards another franchise, basically. And I just thought it was a really enjoyable film. And I wanted to go see this again in theaters, but I haven't had time yet. It's actually still in some theaters around me, so I might go see it again. But if not, this will be a day one purchase for me on Blu-ray. So really the top 4 movies in this list, I will probably make my final list this year, unless we just get a slew of great movies. But I really liked Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I thought it was great. There is a scene towards the end that gave me goosebumps, so uh, definitely worthy. And then, as probably predicted, my number one movie so far this year is Dune Part 2. My only 5 out of 5 so far this year. And I went and saw this movie 3 times in theaters. And I saw it once with the in IMAX film, 70 millimeter. I saw it once in RPX and then once at a Dolby Atmos theater. I think that's right. I also bought it day one on 4K Blu-ray and watched it again there. Maybe that's what it is. I don't think I went and saw this in RPX or in the 4DX. But I love this movie. I thought it was a perfect addition to the first movie. All that world building we did in the first movie paid off in this. I liked the storylines, I liked the special effects, I liked the music, I liked the action, I liked all the characters. I mean, it's just like a perfect movie to me. There was really like nothing wrong. I mean, it gets a little weird, but apparently I've not read the books, but apparently the books get really weird. So I think he just did a great job at adapting this. It really feels like what I wish Star Wars felt like now, and it was just awesome, and I can't wait to see what Denis Villeneuve does next. But yeah, that is my top 10 movies of the year so far. Let me know what you thought about this weird kind of half live stream, half not live stream format. I've done stuff like this before, and I always have camera issues and things, but I think I finally got it set up to where I think this is going to work really well for the future. And we shall see. Until next time, this is Rainy Cage. Peace out.